Analytics Champions program, and for the Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, there is Lightning Champions. So there are Lightning Champions, then there are Einstein Champions, then we have Einstein Analytics to be specific, and then we have Marketing Champions, which was launched just this year. So who are these champions? So these rules apply to everyone. So they are experts, their Marketing Cloud platform. So when we refer to Marketing Cloud, right? So marketing, right? It's not just specific to Marketing Cloud. So these are champions from Marketing Cloud, Pardot, and Datorama. So all these three together form the marketing core thing for Salesforce. So these champions are picked by Salesforce based on these three criteria: expertise. Of course, they should have some enough expertise in these specific areas. So they've picked, I think, around 160 people from all around the globe, as they have been tagged as marketing champions for this year, 2020. And these champions help the community in different ways, and they share their knowledge to the community in like writing a blog post or organizing these groups, meetups, virtual webinars, or even LinkedIn posts, who are very active in the community and helping to share their knowledge on these three products of Salesforce. So this year, I'm also selected as one of them as the marketing champion. I'm purely into Marketing Cloud. I may not be an expert on Dataroma or Pardot, but I'm the marketing champion as selected by Salesforce on Marketing Cloud. I actually wanted to introduce the other marketing champions from different, from Singapore itself. Unfortunately, there are none. So only one representative from Singapore as of now. But I think we have I've also invited other country marketing champions into this call. Let me check. If there is anyone, just shout out. We can do a quick round of introduction to these marketing champions. Let me record also. Someone asked if I should record, so I think it's already been recorded.
I already started, Manish. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Is
Hey,
Shibu
Manish,
here, right?
Shibu here from Malaysia. Yeah.
Hi, Shibu. So Shibu is the marketing champion from Malaysia. Maybe Shibu, you can just give a brief introduction about yourself and what you do.
Sure, guys. So I've been into Salesforce for about 11, 12 years now. Primarily, I'd started with Sales Cloud and into Service, and then moved into Marketing Cloud about a couple of years back. But more about the last 1 year has been more focusing on that. I still have to get into Pardot, but so like Manish said, more into Marketing Cloud for now. And nice to be selected as part of the Marketing Champions group, and hope to work with all of you going forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Shibu. Is there anyone else in this group? I got few invites from a few attendees from India, also marketing champions. I'm not sure if they are on the call, but there are a few from India as well, talking specifically about APAC region. The other regions couldn't join this call. So let's get moving ahead. Also, before we get into the topic, this is a common slide you would have seen in Salesforce presentation. So if just the glimpse of it is make your purchasing decisions based on what is currently available and not based on what we talk, because we might talk some things which are in the future releases or not yet available. So just to give a note on that. So Praveen will be talking about this evolve your marketing strategy from using Einstein for Marketing Cloud. So he will take over from here. So before that, we also have certification vouchers to give away at the end of the session. So the questions will be purely based on today's topic. So we are giving away 2 vouchers. So these can be used for your $200 or even $400 certifications exam worth. So we'll be giving away 2, so almost $800 worth of certification vouchers. So the questions will be purely based on this topic. So let me stop sharing. Praveen, maybe you can take over from here.
Yeah, thanks, Manish. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Pravin Kumar Bandi. I'm a Salesforce practice lead at I Group, Singapore office. I have 10 plus of years experience in the IT industry, working as developer, business consultant, technical architect, and now practice lead. I have led and implemented many Salesforce projects, especially in the marketing cloud over the last 3+ years in the APAC region. I'm also a certified platform app builder, marketing cloud consultant, and Datorama solution architect. So a few slides about my company. I belong to the company called IVE. IVE is an Australia's leading holistic marketing company. We help business to navigate the complex world of marketing maze and connect our clients with their customers whenever and wherever. Right. We have 4 segments in IVE. We are fall under data-driven communications, and as you know, we focus on, as the name suggests, it's a data-driven company. We provide deep customer insights and expert marketing technology services. We service in APAC region. Our headquarters is in Australia, and we have regional offices in Singapore and Hong Kong to serve the larger part of the APAC region. We partner with Salesforce on on all of these Salesforce products. We have expertise in Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and now we're also a Datorama certified implementation partner, one of the very few in the Okay, today's agenda is these topics. We'll first start with what is artificial intelligence, why it is important for digital marketers. And the next one is how Salesforce uses artificial intelligence and provides this intelligence to all the clients who are using Marketing Cloud. We will look at all the list of the Einstein features that Marketing Cloud provides. And the next few slides, we'll go in depth in some of these features. We will cover what the feature does, how it provides insights, and we'll also cover the test use cases. So the main agenda is to tell you the feature as well as the use cases, so you can improve your marketing strategy in your company. And at the end, we'll recap all the use cases, the challenges the marketer usually has, how artificial intelligence helps, and which Einstein feature can be used to overcome that challenge. Right. So what is why artificial intelligence is important? Our world is changing quite rapidly, and especially with this coronavirus, we have seen some drastic changes in the last 3 months. The way we live, the way we work, everything has changed, and it's the World Economic Forum also coined this. This transformation that is happening because of the advancement in robotics or the Internet of Things or the connected products. They call this as 4th industrial revolution, and artificial intelligence is part of that. So how is this artificial intelligence helps the marketers, whether it's B2B marketer or B2C marketers? Any marketer wants to know the customer data and insights. All the marketers wants to achieve these 4 main things. They want to know everything possible about the customer. They want to know who are their loyal customers, who are their dormant customers, what is their lead and engagement scoring, etc. They want to personalize every interaction with the customer by using the recommendation engines, the next best content or next best product. They want to engage intelligently with customers, want to capture their attention by sending the right content at the right time, and they want to do all this analysis at speed and scale. we don't have enough time. I mean, we can't wait, do the analysis for 3-4 months and then implement it. By then, the metrics changes. So these are the main things that marketers want to achieve. But to achieve all of this, there are many challenges, as you know. The data sets are too large, and there is resource constraint, there is a cost constraint, there is customers are flooded with communications, content and product catalogs are too many, so customers can't sort out through manually. All these constraints, and some of the medium and small scale companies don't have enough budget to get all the insights from the customers and implement the data science or artificial intelligence and do the predictive models and then act upon it. So all of these are the constraints of majority of the medium and small scales and even the enterprise level companies. But Salesforce Einstein, which is Salesforce artificial intelligence brand, can solve all of these problems by providing intelligent products and services across all the enterprise and across all the enterprises and business users. So it embeds all these apps into the Salesforce products. Today we are talking about the Salesforce Einstein Marketing Cloud features only. So these features really help customers to discover the insights about their customers, predict what are the outcomes of a customer in terms of email opens or click, or what they might do in with their emails or websites, recommend the next best actions to make the most of the every engagement, automate all these routine tasks. So you can focus, as a marketer, you can focus just on the customer success. You don't have to worry about exporting this data to your backend systems, analyzing it, making the data science understand what the rules, generate insights. You can get rid of all these things by using these Einstein features. Okay. So here are the list of all the Einstein features. There are 9 Einstein features so far, and all of these are included by default in the corporate and enterprise editions. And to the other editions like Pro Edition, you can add them as an add-on purchase. So we'll go in depth into each of these features. The first one I want to cover is the Einstein engagement scoring. So Einstein engagement scoring is a data science driven feature that helps you to target customers to maximize the engagement and conversion. It uses all the customer data that you have and the machine learning models that Salesforce has to generate predictive models which assign scores for each of the subscribers' likelihood to stay subscribed, open an email, click links, or convert. So for each subscriber in your instance, Einstein engagement scoring generates a score, and personas, whether they are loyalists or they are window shoppers or this kind of personas. So you can act upon that data. These scores and personas are stored in the data extension created when you activate this Einstein engagement scoring. It's called MC Einstein Predictive Scores. And there are dashboards available in all of the Einstein features. So you can monitor the health of your engaged subscriber. Quick plans you can monitor. I can also create audience from that score. So just having the score and the dashboards is not enough. I want to act as a marketer. I want to act upon that data. So you can create an audience from that list. And you can also view change the segments, target a specific audience based on their likelihood to engage with your campaigns. And you can also click on the bar graphs to view model corrections that affect the subscriber engagement. So one of the prerequisites for Einstein engagement scoring to work is it requires historical subscriber engagement data. So your instance should have at least 1,000 events in the last 90 days. before the activation. If you're new to Marketing Cloud, the system could take up to 90 days to generate the initial scores. But if you're already using Marketing Cloud, then it will typically take 24 to 48 hours after the activation to see the initial scores. Okay, so this is how the data looks when you activate the Einstein engagement scoring. This is the screenshot of the data extension. So I masked the email address here, but you can see how each email address is scored based on their likelihood to click. Then it says less likely, most likely, and the score is from 0 to 1. Email open likelihood, email subscribe likelihood, and there's also an email engagement persona. So there are 4 personas. We'll go in depth into this, like a win back or a dormant persona, someone who is not engaging with your emails on the click and open metrics. And then there are loyalists who have more likely to open and most likely to click and subscribe. Then we have window shoppers, and we have some persona called selective shoppers as well. So once you activate the engagement scoring, you will see all this data in your system. And then you can create, obviously, you can create a lot of segments based on these personas, and create separate journeys for this. But you don't have to do all those things, because the Einstein also provides split activities in the journeys. So I'll show you that split activities in a second. Then this is how the Einstein engagement scoring dashboard looks like. This is based on all of your email activities in the last 90 days. So one of the the 4 personas you can see here in the predictions. So this is how the least likely to open, click an email, most likely to click an email, likelihood to open an email are here. And here are the personas they mentioned. So these are the 830K customers, are win back or dormant customers here, which have low open and low click. And there are window shoppers which have high open rate but low click. And there are selective subscribers which have low open but very high click. Whenever they open the email, there's high chance of they clicking the emails. And then there are loyalists who have high open rate and high click rate. This is how this particular card shows. And then subscriber retention prediction card shows the average likelihood of customers to stay subscribed. And then we also have here email open prediction and email click prediction. So all these predictions are based on the next 14 days, based on the previous email activity. And the web conversion prediction is predicts customer subscriber conversion rate for the next 14 days based on the scores assigned. And for this to work, you have to implement the Salesforce color tracking code on your website. It's not like automatically available. We have to implement the color tracking code first, and then it's available. But the other things like the subscriber retention, email click, and email open are immediately available once you activate the engagement scoring feature. And you can also see the audience health at a quick glance. If you want to know what is your audience health, you can also see in these metrics. The subscriber retention, audience health is very excellent here. Likely click prediction is also excellent. This compared to the normal industry standards. And the for example, here the open prediction is fair, not great compared to the industry standards. Okay, now we have seen the the engagement scoring feature and the dashboard and all, but how do we actually act upon this data? That's where the Einstein split in journey builder works. When you create a journey in the flow control, you will see flow control called Einstein Split, and this Einstein Split contains these 5 options. One is the persona split. The persona split is based on customers' engagement, so it can be 4 options here, as you can see: loyalists, selective shoppers, window shoppers, and win back dormant customers, and then the reminder customers. So when a customer enters the journey, and if he is a loyalist, they'll go into this flow, and if he's a selective shopper, then he goes into this flow, and if it's a new customer, they will, and we don't have the predictions from the Einstein, they'll go into the reminder flow. And then you can obviously join this to the loyalist or in the flow, or you can create a separate flow for those new customers. So apart from the persona split activity, you can also use the web conversion likelihood split activity. You can also use the click likelihood split, open and subscription retention split activity. Now, we're going to cover on the use cases where exactly I can, use this Einstein split, Einstein engagement scoring and Einstein split intelligence. For example, as a marketer, my use case, let's say my use case is to increase the acquisitions and conversions. Now I know that I have customers who are loyalists. I know their subscriber key. I know the loyalist segment. Now to increase my acquisition conversions, I can send the loyalists a special offer, a cross-sell campaign, or an even sign-up campaign, or I can also use a lookalike audience to find new customers that look like our best ones. Right? So in that way, we can use that loyalist persona split loyalist segment in this particular use case to increase our acquisition and conversions. The next one is the engage and inspire existing customers. Now I want to engage with my existing customers who are not engaging with my emails. They're just like window shoppers. They open the email but don't really click the activities. So in that case, I can target those window shopper customers to using a different strategy. And I can also action, try with the action-oriented subject lines. Now, the first thing the customer sees when you send an email is the subject line. And we can try with the subject lines and try to increase that open rate and the click-through rate. The next use case is decreasing churn. As a marketer, I also want to keep all my subscribers active, subscribe to my business. I don't want them to unsubscribe. So these kind of dormant subscribers fall under the dormant persona, and we can create a segment for those dormant subscribers and create a win-back campaign, or we can also archive them so we don't waste our emails, or we can target them using different channels like SMS or Facebook or Instagram or the Google advertising channels. And the other thing we can also do is enhance our email reporting. We can add the personas to our custom or advanced reports in Marketing Cloud to discover new insights. So these are some of the use cases that we wanted to show you on how we can use the Einstein engagement scoring feature.
Praveen, so sorry, before you jump into the next topic, let's just quickly go through there are some questions, so I'll quickly answer those. I think first question was, does it consider only 90 days? No, it takes, no, the answer is no. So it will consider all the data, but minimum is 90 days it needs to analyze to get that data. Does the scoring refresh daily? Yes. How does it, is it through automations? Yes, it runs automations on the Salesforce SFMC instance, sends this data into Einstein platform and analyzes those data. Then does Einstein takes into consideration engagement outside of emails and web, such as purchase, etc. So Einstein engagement is purely looking at engagement as in email open and click rates only to analyze this data.
There's one more question on, is there any DEs for this data? Yes, there is a DE for this data, which is called as Einstein NC predictive scores, where you can find all the data here.
Next is, shall we maximize the limit more than 90 days? So the minimum is 90 days. So maximum is depends on your account that is created on. So we cannot change anything on that. How does Einstein know if an email is being clicked or opened? So using the tracking that generally SFMC uses, it sends the automation. It collects all that data and sends that data for analysis. Can we implement custom scoring? As of now, no. Yeah. I think Praveen, you can continue. We'll take the other questions at the end.
Okay. Yeah. The next one is the Einstein send time optimization. Now, the other challenges marketers have is they want to improve the open rate of email messages in their planned journeys. Now, there are many platforms and other vendors that offer automated analysis for sending email campaign at the time subscriber most likely to open the email. But these are all external systems, and it's a pain process to send the data to them and analyze and then let us know, oh, this is the best time you can send out the email, and this is the likelihood. There's a likelihood that they open the email. Now, what Salesforce done is with the Salesforce Einstein send time optimization, they removed all this extra work by bringing this analysis and intelligence into the marketing platform itself. So Einstein send time optimization uses the machine learning to determine the best time to send your message to your subscriber, and you then cut through the noise and increase the likelihood of your message being opened. This feature provides two things. One is the send time optimization dashboard and send time optimization journey builder activity. Okay, so this is how the Einstein send time optimization dashboard looks like. For example, here, this analyzes all the email address in the tenant, or you can also choose to analyze all the contacts in the business unit. So how does this work? Einstein send time optimization analyzes all the contacts in your system, and based on the previous email open and click rate, based on the email open thing, they predict a score from 0 to 100. What is the best time in a day, or what is the best hour in a day, or what is the best time of the week that the person is likely to open an email? So this prediction is per customer in your database. So here, this dashboard shows you the total email addresses here and assigned personalized send time. So as for now, it has assigned 919K users with a personalized send time. The pending personalized send time for the other customers is this many. Then this particular chart shows you the predicted send times score for most of the email addresses. Then on the chart here on the left side, you can see the top 5 optimal send date and send time. For example, optimal send time is Saturday 8 a.m. here for email addresses like 104K users have been opening emails on Saturday 8 a.m. So this is how it shows the analytics data. Then we also have here optimal send times by day. On the x-axis, you have the days, Sunday, Monday, and on the y-axis, you can see the number of emails addresses. So here on Monday, there's likelihood of more customers opening the email. Then you can also drill down by optimal send times by hour. Again, the same thing here, but this is by hour. Now, again, this data is very useful. The dashboards are pretty, but how can I use this data in my journeys, right? That's where the Einstein Send Time Optimization Journey Builder activity helps. When you create a journey, you will see, when you activate the Send Time Optimization, you will see a activity called Einstein Send Time Optimization. How do we use this? This should be placed before any email activity that you have. So that's why here, before this email activity, I have placed this Send Time Optimization, and you can choose the optimal duration of, to send the email, and then what is the next hour, what is the next best time to send the email. The optimal duration you can select here. So for example, if I say 12 hours, in the next 12 hours, what is the best time the customer opens that email is determined, and at that hour the email will be sent. So the minimal duration that you have to give, is 2 hours here, and the maximum duration is 168 hours, which is 7 days. So to explain you more on this particular send time optimization, let's assume we have a use case here. Let's say our journey is running at every day at 10 a.m. And Einstein journey activity optimal duration is configured as 24 hours. So when the customer reaches the email activity, and let's say the customer's optimal time to open an email is 4 p.m. as predicted by the Einstein feature, then when the journey runs at 10 a.m., the customer reaches the email activity at 10 a.m., but the email won't be sent at 10 a.m. The email will be actually sent at 4 p.m. since that is the optimal, since the optimal duration is configured as 24 hours. So from 10 a.m. until the next 24 hours, whatever is the optimal duration, at that time, the email will be sent out. This will improve the likelihood of opening the email for the customer. Okay, before I move on to the next feature, do we have any questions that we need to cover?
I don't think any questions on STO.
Okay. So the next feature is the Einstein engagement frequency. Now, marketers are sending more messages to customers' inboxes than ever, and they need to find out the right amount of messages that needs to be sent to the customers on a daily or monthly basis. I can't bombard my customer with a lot emails every day, or I cannot send out very less emails, so and I lose the opportunity of converting the customer or engaging the customer. So they want to know what is the ideal frequency to send the emails to each customer. Now this is the feature that enables you to do that. Einstein engagement frequency evaluates all of your email activities and identifies the optimal number of email messages to send, and at what point subscriber becomes oversaturated or whether they become undersaturated, meaning under-messaged. So this will help the marketers to reduce the unsubscribes by identifying the undersaturated subscribers, by identifying the oversaturated subscribers, and also tap into the additional sales by and conversion opportunities by finding the subscribers who are undersaturated. So how this works? You can create, configure the data filters to review the 30 days, last 30 days data, or 60 days or 90 days of data. And you can also include email types like all the commercial emails or all the transactional emails as well. And the frequency report can be optimized by the open rate or the click rate, or a combination of open and click rate. And then you can create and use this data extension to modify the number of email messages your subscriber receives. For example, this is the Einstein engagement frequency dashboard. On the top left, you can see the frequency suggestion card. For example, here it says Einstein suggests a frequency range of 38 to 56 emails over 90 days. By this, you could increase the chosen advanced metric by 6.92%. This is based on the data filters that we have selected. And on the right side, you can also see how many percentage of subscribers who are undersaturated, meaning 34% of subscribers, we are not sending them enough emails to keep them engaged. And there's only 29% of subscribers we are sending more emails to them. So on the right side, again, he can choose many filters here. He can review 30 days or 60 or 90 days of data. He can also select email type, commercial or transactional. And what is optimization objective, whether you want to analyze the open rates or click rates or an advance rate. Then then you will get the frequency chart here. As soon as you update the filters, the frequency chart will be updated. Let's drill down more into this frequency chart. This is where you can analyze the data here. So the green bars here indicate the undersaturated subscribers, whereas the blue bar indicates the on-target engagement for subscribers, meaning these subscribers are receiving ideal number of emails from the platform. And the purple represents the oversaturated subscribers. Right. So on the x-axis, we have the number of emails. This is the number of emails, and the number of email subscribers on the y-axis. We also have here the yellow lines and the blue lines. Yellow lines represents the open rate, and the blue line represents the click rate, and the red line here at the bottom represents the unsubscribe rate. But how do I read this data, right? For example, if you take a look at this particular blue bar, around 10K subscribers are receiving around 40 emails over the last 90 days periods. And Einstein says that is the optimal frequency at which you need to send the emails. And the email and the engagement rate with those 10K customers with 45 emails or 35 emails is around is ideal. I mean, it's around 18% open rate and around 10% click rate, and the unsubscribe rate is around 1%. So when I look at, as a marketer, if you look at these things, then you clearly know that I've been sending too less emails to these subscribers and too many emails to these subscribers. And this is my frequency, and you can adjust your campaigns according to that. But this is all well and good, but how do I get these customers so that I can create targeted campaigns, right? So here, this button, create data extensions, when you click this, you can actually find, you will get two set of data extensions, oversaturated subscribers. This you can use for suppressions, and oversaturated subscribers, yeah, we have to suppress them for or send out less emails. And undersaturated subscribers, where we can target them more with more campaigns. Then again, in which use case I can use engagement frequency? For example, the use case is reduce the list unsubscribes. If you want to reduce your unsubscribed customers, then find out who are your oversaturated subscribers and what is, and you can also use the Einstein engagement scoring likelihood to unsubscribe and suppress them from your feature sends or journeys. Or if the use case is to optimize the send, then again, you can save money to reinvest in other channels by finding out the optimal email numbers that you need to send and invest that in other channels. You can also drive incremental sales opportunity by sending out the undersaturated subscribers on a retargeting journey to increase your exposure, to increase the engagement, and to increase the conversion. Okay, I'm moving on to the next feature, which is the Einstein Copy Insights. Einstein Copy Insights is an email subject line optimization. So if before this, we have been traditionally marketers have been using the external tools to analyze the subject line. What is the best subject line to send to customers? We use different tools and then bring it back to Marketing Cloud and write down that subject line. Now with this Einstein Copy Insights, you can all do this within the platform itself. It analyzes all the text from your email subject lines to uncover the language insights. How is this done? It uses the natural language processing, text analytics to do this prediction. So these features and those features and predicts how it predicts how the email message reach and the engagement changes based upon the subject. So what are the features that are analyzed? It analyzes the language factors such as the originality and the character count of the subject. What is the emotional tone of the subject? What are the phrases in the subject that spark the engagement? What are the frequently used phrases in all of your email campaigns? So again, this Einstein Copy Insight assesses a 90-day rolling window of your email engagement data to produce the insights, and insights are updated once a week. One thing to note is this only works for the English language subject at the moment. So here is some the Einstein Copy Insights dashboard. Let's look at this. So these are the subject line analytics. You can see this subject lines and the total emails delivered with this subject line and what is the average open rate. So this particular subject line has average open rate of 99.5%. And can use this insight to to deliver more emails with subject lines with these phrases or with this particular promotion. Drilling down into the dashboard more, there are other cards that dashboard provides, which is the language factor insights. For example, language factor like has subject having personalization. There are 249 subject lines here, and the impact is higher. The green shows it's a positive impact, and the red one shows it's a negative impact. And then, for example, having an emoji is actually is showing a negative impact here. And on the bottom, you can see what are the top performing phrases of all your emails. You can choose a 1 word, 2 word, or 3 word. So for example, here, college students, that is the top performing phrase in the subject line. And you can also see the most frequently used phrases here in this chart. And emotional tone insights shows, what is the emotional tone of your subject, whether it's joyful or it's curiosity or pride or gratitude, that kind of emotional tones, and how that emotional tone is impacting the email open rate, whether it's having positive impact or a negative impact. For example, safety is showing any subject with a safety emotion tone is kind of showing a negative impact here. So that's something that email marketers can see, look at these, dashboards and change the subject lines accordingly. Moving on to the next feature, Einstein content selection, right? This is again one of the artificial intelligence feature that Salesforce provides. This allows the marketers to create the hyper-personalized email messages. Well, it's completely automated, intelligent, and real-time personalization at scale. You can save a lot of time using the Einstein content selection to create your emails. For example, on the left side, you can see that, let's say this person, Jess, has received a completely different email based on her preference. And let's say Tom has received a completely different email based on his preference. And this is all done without writing any code or without writing any dynamic content or the AMP script using the Einstein content selection. So how does this work, right? First of all, we need to create and upload an asset catalog file. So every asset that you have in your content builder, you can take those asset links and say, let's say this, you take this asset image and say you build a catalog file and say this belongs to the trail, trail type. Activity is trail. And then you can take this asset and say this activity belongs to the snowboarding or snow activity. And then you can sync your consumer profile data extension. So along with that, in the Einstein content selection, if you have a consumer customer data with all the customer preferences, you can sync that data extension and then create the content selection rules inside the platform. And then the fallback assets are something like, in case there is no content or asset which matches with any of the content selection rules, then you can pick an image which has a fallback asset. Then you can set the fatigue rules as well. Fatigue rules are something like, you don't want the same asset to display to the same customer multiple times. You can select how many times, maximum number of times an asset can display to the same customer. So once you set up all these things, like create and upload the asset catalog file, sync your customer data, create the content selection rules. The content selection rules you can create yourself, or you can just use the default content selection rules and the fallback assets and fatigue rules. All you need to do is go to the create an email from the content builder and just drag and drop the Einstein content selection block. And that's it. Your email is ready with the hyper personalized content. Every email, every asset contains the link, and the performance of that asset is also shown in the dashboard. Let's see that dashboard, the next slide. So for example, this is the Einstein content selection dashboard. So these are the different assets, the top 5 performing assets. These are selected 76 times. The selections is the number of times this asset has been selected in an email, and what are the unique clicks, to which interest this asset belongs to, what is the locale, what is the city, and topic. So all of this you can configure, and it gives you, tells the marketer which asset is actually performing, and you can actually reuse that asset instead of going back to your creative team and asking to create an asset for me for this next campaign. It's a very time-consuming process. Every time you have to go to the creative team and ask them to build an asset for every campaign. But if you know that this particular asset is actually performing well, and then you can, if you have that insights, you can actually use that insights and automatically create your emails with those content. And then there's some more dashboards here at the bottom. Asset details for selections, how many times the asset has been selected, and what is the click to open rate for those assets. So this is Einstein content selection, which will help you to reduce the time that you spend on creating the emails. The last one is the Einstein recommendations. This is very interesting feature because it delivers the next best product or the content to every individual across email and web as well. So every customer interaction is an insight, right? Whether it's a click or a download or a open or a purchase, these are all the preferences. It will let you know the customer preferences. Now, Einstein recommendation combines all the user behavior with the algorithms they have and builds unique business rules to build a user profile. So with all this activity that is happening on the email as well as the website, for each subscriber, they build a profile. That this person is interested in hiking activity, or this person is interested in indoor activities. Such profile is filled, and then it recommends the what is the next best offer in email, and what is the next best offer on the website that the customer can see when the customer receives an email, or when the customer receives a browses the website. So there are two recommendations that are available from this particular feature. What is the email recommendation? It is referred to as open time recommendation, because the logic and the scenarios are processed immediately before the customer sees the recommendation. And the other one is a web recommendation, which is delivers the next best personalized content to each website visitor. Now, anyone, some marketers have done this before. We implemented a lot of tagging on the websites, predictive intelligence, collect the data, send it back to backend, and then, optimize the data. So all that thing can be avoided now by using the email recommendation and web recommendations. But the key thing we need to note for the web recommendation to work is you need to implement the collect tracking code on your website. The collect tracking code is available in the Salesforce when you enable this feature. That needs to be embedded in your website. So drilling down into Einstein email recommendation, this delivers the next best content or product by enabling you to observe the customer behavior based on the preference profiles that Einstein built in. How do we configure the email recommendation? Once you activate the email recommendation, you need to choose the content. The content here, in the sense, what is the image that you want to show? What is the image that you want to recommend to the customer? Right? You can create multiple contents, hundreds of recommendation contents across different themes. Then recommendation logic you can create. What is the recommendation logic? Either you can use a standard logic. The standard logic is determined by the Einstein preference profiles, or you can create your own logic that if the customer falls into this particular category, you recommend this image which contains this particular product. Then the next thing is, how do you configure that layout in the email? So do you want to display 3 recommendations or 1 recommendation? That you need to configure here. And then once you've done all this and save it, you click on the get code, and you get that snippet that you need to insert into your email. Once you insert that email, every customer you send out an email based on the customer preferences that we have collected across the email and the web and all, based on the Einstein predictions and recommendations. Each subscriber will receive a different image or different content there with a different thing. So this will take out the entire work of as a marketer, right? Write the rules of dynamic recommendations. For example, if I purchase a beauty product, then you recommend the beauty product. If I purchased a hiking product, then you recommend another hiking product. I don't need to write those AMP script or the dynamic content or those things. You can just add the recommendation logics and select the content that you want to display, and then automatically that emails will have those recommendations. Next, the next one is the Einstein Web Recommendations. This is similar to the Einstein email recommendations, and but these are delivered on the website. So the next best personalized product or recommendation is shown to the customer when they visit the website. So the web recommendations are delivered in 2 ways: via the JSON response, or by the HTML code snippet that you can just embed into your website. So again, the steps are mentioned here. It is similar to email recommendation. First, you select the location and the type of a recommendation, which page you want to show which recommendation, whether you want to show a product recommendation or a content recommendation. You just create those pages. Then how do you want to display that recommendation? Because every website is different, right? I can't show, on a website which is has a width of 300 pixel, I can't show a recommendation which is of 600 pixel, right? So you can choose exactly how to display that recommendation in your website. That content area you can choose. What content you can display, you can also choose that. And then once you configure all that, you can test it in your in your QA environment or your staging environment, and then insert that code in the website. Once you insert that code, based upon the customers visiting the website, the code automatically runs and pulls the content from the Salesforce Marketing Cloud, the next best offer, and displays it on the website. That's how it works. So, for example, I just want to cover the use case in terms of Einstein recommendation. Where exactly I can use Einstein recommendation, right? Let's say I want to cross-sell the related items to increase my total sales. For example, the customer purchased bought a pant from us, and I want to cross-sell them a nice shirt or a shoes to go with, right? I don't have to do anything by writing, a separate segment or separate email campaign to understand, oh, this person purchased, pants, and then you can trigger the email. So you can just create that recommendation in the Einstein recommendation and use Einstein email recommendations or the Einstein web recommendation to display the next best offer, which is pants or shirts, which is the shirts or shoes in this particular use case. So for cross-selling related items, this Einstein recommendation is very, very useful. Finally, we came to the end of the webinar, but to summarize the use cases and challenges and which Einstein the future you can use, I put on a few cases here. Let's say previously known audience insights and segments. What is the challenge that we have? Audience data sets are too large. Normal business intelligence tools doesn't work. And how artificial intelligence helps, it groups the data into clusters and analyzes and segments. But I don't have this artificial intelligence tool to do that. Yes, but Einstein, Salesforce Einstein engagement scoring can do that work for you. I want to capture the next use cases. I want to capture the customer attention over competitors. I want to send the emails at the right time so that there's likelihood to open for the customer to open the email. Now I can use that Einstein Features send time optimization to do that. The next use case is I want to encourage new product discovery for upsell and cross-sell opportunities. So I want to display dynamic content to the customers because customers don't know what they don't know. And usually when you go to any website, the content and the product catalogs are too many, and they don't scroll through all the items and see which exactly suits them. They don't have that much of time. But with the content selection, with the customer profile information that we have, we can actually recommend those the next best offer that the customer might be interested using the content selection feature. And again, if you want to increase your online conversion by personalizing content and offers across the open web, again, this can simply be done with the Einstein Web Recommendations without the need of you having a artificial intelligence setup, data science setup, and all. You can enable the Einstein Web Recommendation in your Salesforce platform, implement the tracking code in your website, and automatically the web recommendations comes up whenever the customer visits your website. Okay, I think that's all I have to cover. Do you have any questions that you want to look at, Manish?
Let's check. I don't think any other questions. I think the other questions were answered. Thanks others for answering also. I think Funny answered a few questions, so I think no questions. I hope everyone is able to get an insight into all the features of Einstein. So Praveen, maybe I can go on to the next slide. So we'll finish off with the, okay.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about Einstein feature or anything about Marketing Cloud, you can always reach out to me or my colleague Sandeep, and we will share this deck with all the attendees either tonight or tomorrow. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you all for joining, and really appreciate everyone taking time to attend this. Don't leave the session yet. I'll hand over the presentation to Manish to cover the quiz and the Salesforce certification vouchers to win.
Praveen, you can just go to the next slide. So we'll go ahead with the quiz.
Okay.
So one question: any real life implementation of Einstein in the recent past which might have increased? I'm not sure if we have to look at the companies that have implemented. I'll check those and let you know. I think, Praveen, if you have anything, maybe you can add.
Yeah, so we definitely have a, I mean, I can't reveal my customer name, but we definitely have customers who have used this end-time optimization and engagement scoring, where they increase the open rates because of the end-time optimization, and also the customers thought that they have been sending too many emails, and they asked us to do the frequency campaign. But when we looked at the analytics from the Einstein engagement frequency, they're sending too less emails. Again, that provided them insight, and we started sending more emails, and which increased their engagement with the customers.
Okay, so let's go ahead with the quiz. So we have two questions. First question we'll ask, then you can answer that question in the chat window itself. So you'll have 4 options. You can just type in A, B, C, D. So you can get ready with your fingers on your chat window. I'll just give a couple of seconds for everyone to get ready. So the fastest fingers win. So whoever answers first will get that voucher. So you have 2 tries. Let's see. Okay, Praveen, you can go to the question and read out the question and the options. Yeah, let's see whoever answers first.
Okay. Okay. The first question. A digital marketer wants to know the ideal number of emails to send to customer over a period of time. Which Einstein feature will help to identify the optimal send number? You have 4 options here.
There are a lot of answers. I think almost everyone answered A. I think everyone answered A, 1,000. I think the first one to answer, according to the chat that I received, is Sudha Sharma. So Sudha Sharma will win this certification voucher, $400. Sudha Sharma, you can just drop your email address. I'll reach out to you after this session.
Okay, get ready, everyone. I'll go into the next question. Okay, next question. A brand manager wants to identify the most loyal customers who have high email engagement and wants to run a special promotional journey. Which Einstein feature will help the brand manager to identify these loyal customers?
Okay. Let's see. So we have 2 answers, I think, floating around, B and C. Let's see. So Praveen, you can announce the answer, and I'll look at who's the first one to get that.
Okay. The answer is the Einstein engagement scoring. Einstein engagement scoring will help to identify your loyal customers, dormant, and the win-back customers. So the answer is option C, Einstein engagement scoring.
So C was first answered by Shivakumar PT. I think it was a tie between B and C. So Shiva Kumar PT, you can also is a winner for this question. You can drop your email address. I'll reach out to you again after the session. That's all, guys. Thanks for attending. We'll see you again in the next session. So if you have any, we'll share the recording on the events page itself. And if you have any questions, you can also reach out to the email address and the phone number that was mentioned in the slides. I think that's all from our side. Any other questions you want? We can, or otherwise you can just drop off for now. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
इसको बोलना
Hello?
Hey, good show, Pravi.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Praveen, you have my email address, right?
Sorry?
You have my email address, right? This is Sudha.
Yes, yeah, I got your email address, yes.
Great. Thank you. Nice session.
Thank you.
Hi, do you have my ID? Is it? Sorry.
No, can you just drop it in the chat window?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thanks, Manish. I'm dropping off. Let me know
Thank
anything else. Okay.
Sure. So you will have that meeting recorded session, right?
Yes.
On the drive. Okay.
I'll pass on to you. You can upload to a drive or something. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,